It's that time of the year again. Oh, yes, it is. And tonight, the audience of this panto will shortly, we hope, be shouting, "Look behind you!" Season's greetings from the Wimbledon Theatre, where a host of Christmases past are about to appear for a pantomime favourite of the last 12 years. This year it's Snow White, which is entirely appropriate, as our subject has often been described as the fairest of them all. At the age of 18, she became familiar to millions. All you had to do was turn the front page of the paper, and there she was.
Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's home from work we go. Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho.
Her role as a pin-up, and now family favourite, is a far cry from her first job in a tax office. Now it's all showbiz and television programmes like The Bill and Brookside.
Hi-ho, hi.
One of her co-stars is another former Brooksider, Sam Kane, who also happens to be her husband, Sam. And Bible Blair.
Well, she's on stage at the moment. Everything's going according to plan, and she doesn't suspect a thing.
Listen, when you enter, you're looking for the Wicked Queen. I just hope she doesn't turn me into a frog after all this.
Oh, she'll love you even more, don't worry. Listen, when I come on, I know it's finale time almost, but leave a little room for me on stage.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Sam, finale.
Come on.
We do have one more surprise. Would you like another surprise? Would you like another surprise? Well, here's the surprise.
Mums and dads, boys and girls, I've just popped in to ask one little question. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who has the biggest red book of all? And the answer is me, and it says tonight, believe it or not, Linda Lusardi, tonight, this is your life. What we're going to do in time-honored fashion is do the show right here. Linda, let's meet the folks. There's your mother, Lila, your father, Nello, your brother, Mark, and your sister, Gina. And friends from Showbiz, including, of course, your Snow White chums and your very own Prince, Sam Kane. Have a seat, Sam.
Thank you, Nick.
So, Sam, romance came to you once upon a time in a land far away.
In Darlington. Mr. John Conway booked us. We were supposed to work together about 2 years prior to that, but it didn't happen, and then I found out I was working with Linda in Darlington, and it's like 5, 6 years ago, and it's been a fairy tale ever since. She's just the best thing that could have ever happened to me, and she's a dream come true.
I have to say that, A, I can't believe that you managed to keep it all from me, because we're so close, and B, that this man has absolutely changed my life, turned it around and made me the happiest woman in the world. He's an absolutely fantastic father and husband, and I love him so much.
Yeah. Well, the audience shouted, get on with it, so we will. You married on August the 9th, 1998, at St. John the Baptist Church in Enfield. One of the guests of honour was your 2-year-old daughter, Lucy. She was a bit younger than you when she first appeared in The Sun. Lucy is now 4, and she was joined last year by Jack, so you've now got 2 guaranteed new fans. So let's hear for some more. 4 big kids who shared panto and other jollies with you. John Inman, Matthew Kelly, Stu Francis, and first, Brian Conley.
Hi Linda, it's Brian here, looking like a negative. I would like to apologise for my hair because I'm currently doing a Hollywood film here in Sheffield. So, yes, I'm talking to Linda. Tell Spielberg to wait. But I do remember the first time we met. It was at Her Majesty's Theatre. It was actually at the Stage Door. You were selling copies of The Big Issue. And I knew then you were going to be famous because you had a great pair of eyes. Yes, you had your knockers, but you pulled through. And finally, I'd like to be sincere because I think people should be sincere, even if they don't mean it. Sincerely, I'm proud to know you because you are lovely Linda Lusardi and you deserve this moment.
Not only are you a joy and a pleasure to work with, but you're a very, very warm and generous person, because I remember the first time that, well, we were split up, for want of a better phrase, for pantomime. I was going to work in Hertfordshire, and you said to me, where are you staying? Where are you going to be living? And I said, I don't really know yet. And you said, well, I do. I said, what do you mean? And you said, here. And you gave me the keys for your house, because you and Sam were away in another production in Berkshire. And I'd just like to thank you for, oh, some fabulous parties at that house, I'll tell you. Have a lovely, lovely evening. God bless.
Do you know what? I think everybody should know that you're a fantastic actress, you're an extraordinary person, audiences love you, and so do I. And congratulations on tonight. It couldn't have happened to a nicer person.
Hello, Linda, darling. As you can see, pantomime time again. No, these aren't for the pantomime. I've just been out shopping. Many congratulations, love. I'm ever so glad they nabbed you for this. I hope to see you very soon, you know. We must do a pantomime together again, because I'm free.
Oh, bless him.
The kings of panto. Now, Linda, since you first became a leading member of another British institution, Page 3, you've been appreciated as a singer, presenter and dramatic actress, even appearing with husband Sam in that suburban Tempest, Brookside.
Why do I always choose women like you and Lindsay?
We never did say goodbye.
Is this what this is?
Steady, men, steady.
What have you done?
I think it's the worst.
I should kick you straight out of here, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should. If you know what's good for you, you should.
Well, that last scene showed you not standing by your man in the bill. Facing the music was the devilish Don Beach, Billy Murray. Billy, what would you like to say?
Well, contrary to what people think, when you're in a long-running show on TV, you do get input into the way your character goes. And they asked me what I wanted in a girlfriend, because we were going to do 10 episodes of this particular run. And I said, well, first she's got to be able to do it, got to be able to act, and she's got to be attractive. And they surpassed all my expectations. They gave me someone absolutely beautiful who was cracking in the part.
Oh, bless you, Billy. I love you to bits.
Very nice, too. Thank you, Billy. So, Linda Frances Elida Lusardi, this is your life. You were born on September the 18th, 1958, at home in Palmer's Green, North London. You're the third child for Lila and Nello Lusardi, who runs a building firm and employment agency. Nello, you were keen on photography and home movies, a sort of parental paparazzo, really. Linda was a natural, wasn't she?
Yes, she was. She was photogenic and very, very pretty. She loved to dress up and dance in front of the camera. I used to think that one day she would be a model, but I was so surprised that she'd done so well.
Well, in 1963, holding your big sister Gina's hand, you walked to your first school, Hazelwood Juniors in Palmer's Green. When you're 11, you move on to Winchmore School. Now, you're better at sport than in the classroom. You're a whiz on roller skates, you take on the boys at football, you join Southgate Swimming Club, and you're a good athlete. And Mark, one day your sister's speed amazed you.
Yes, when she was about 11, she took part in the Enfield District Championship. Because at school she had been used to going on the second command, get ready, go, she ran on the second command, which was, on your marks, get set. So off she goes, she realises her mistake, turns round, goes back to the start, by which time the starter's fired the gun and all the other girls are going. So she's about 10 yards behind them. She manages to overtake the whole lot and win the race, becoming district champion.
Age 15, you get a Saturday job in a hair salon in Southgate, and already you want to make the most of your looks.
And that meant a spot of ironing.
30 years on, pals from those days, Joanne Chisholm and Lorraine Page. Joanne, what was Linda up to?
Well, Linda always had naturally very curly hair, but she wanted desperately to have very straight hair. So every morning before school, she would get up, get the ironing board out, the brown paper, and she would iron her hair. And she taught us to do the same thing,
yes,
didn't she,
very
Lorraine?
much. The one thing I remember from the salon that she worked at was that she used to use pieces of her own hair as false eyelashes.
You leave school at 16 and you start your first full-time job. Like your mother before you and your sister now, you join the Inland Revenue. One day in your lunch break, you're queuing at a bus stop on your way back to work in London when your life changes forever. What happened?
A lady stopped me and she said, are you a model? And I said, no. And she said, what model agency are you with? I said, I'm not with an agent at all. And she said, well, take my card, my husband's a photographer. We'd be interested in doing some photographs of you, and the rest is history.
Like a movie?
Up. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, after a family discussion, you go for it. Your father accompanies you to a number of photo sessions as you put a portfolio together. Lila, how did you feel?
I was very pleased for her. She had the looks and the personality, and she had plenty of common sense too, which is important. So she went for it, and well, she never looked back, really.
Well, eventually your pictures are sent to the Sun newspaper.
And Linda, we were all thrilled to have you join us on page 3.
Page 3 pioneers, Jilly Johnson and photographer Beverly Goodway. Jilly, you were already a top model. What did you think?
Well, the very first time I saw Linda, I picked up the newspaper and her photograph literally jumped off the page at me, and I thought, this is definitely a star in the making. And I was right.
Oh, thank you, Jilly.
And Beverly, Linda wasn't just a pretty face.
Oh, no, not just a pretty face, but the prettiest face, and also the most photogenic. She was just a delight to work with. Any photo session with Linda was something one looked forward to, because she was so professional, such a lovely person. If there'd been more people like Linda in my career, my job would have been a lot easier.
Oh, thank you,
Thank
Beverly.
you. You make your debut as a page turner in the summer of '76. You're 18 and you're still working for the Inland Revenue. On your way to work that day, you open the newspaper and there you are, topless. What did you feel?
It was just a real shock. Having the photographs taken was one thing, but I didn't actually ever contemplate them being published.
Well, the business takes notice. As modelling work takes up more and more room in your diary, you quit your tax office job. Over the next 10 years, in The Sun, The Daily Mirror, calendars and commercials, you become one of the best-known models in the country. 1987 brings you the title Page 3 Girl of the 80s. And with fame comes the chance to get deeper into showbiz. You're invited onto lots of TV shows, and then you audition for the stage farce Funny Peculiar, and you get the job, appearing alongside Peter Duncan.
Oh, hello. Behind the book.
You're back in the fast lane for the stage comedy Who Goes Bear?
And you got to see the long
and the short of us.
Your co-stars Jeff Capes and Melvin Hayes. So, Jeff, give us the lowdown.
Well, Who Goes Bear is a bit of a farce, and we used to get to run around the stage, didn't we?
It's so tall.
But the problem was, the problem was, you know, being the ex-world's strongest man and everything, dropping my trousers in front of Linda was a little bit of a scream, and I felt the weakest I've ever been in my life. But you got to do it every night as well, didn't you? Drop your trousers.
I'd rather not discuss that here, if you don't mind. She's my greatest neighbour. She's the most un-show business lady I know in this world, and we have actually shared a sauna together. Yeah. No, when I say that, no, they've just refurbished their home and they've given me their old sauna. That's all.
That's a relief. Thank you very much. In 1988, you decide to leave all the lightweight entertainment behind and go for a serious challenge, pantomime. And after a successful debut in Dartford with Norman Wisdom in Cinderella, the next year you become Snow White in Reading. And the show was specially written for you by John Conway. And John, you must have had a great faith in Linda.
I've had lots of fun over the years with Linda. We've done so much together and produced all those shows, and I think probably the proudest moment she had was when she played Eliza Doolittle in Pygmalion, which she was absolutely wonderful in. And it proved to everybody else what I'd always known from all the years I've known her, that Linda Lusardi was more than just a pretty face.
By 1989, you were married to your first husband, builder Terry Bailey. In 1991, you were a summertime hit at that showbiz mecca Blackpool in the extravaganza Rock with Laughter. You share the bill with Grumbleweed Robin Colville and Maurice Lee. Now, topping the bill in Blackpool was, to name but a few, this character.
It's wonderful to be on here. In Stars in Your Eyes. And tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be that great American singer, Napkin Mole.
Bobby, gorgeous.
Congratulations.
This lady is one special person. She's gorgeous, talented, a lovely actress. She's got a lovely family, and she really deserves everything that's coming her way in show business. She's the best. I love her. God bless her.
Thank you, Bobby. Now, in 1991, there was a sad reminder of how cruel life could be, even to the beautiful people, when your fellow model and close friend Angie Lane died after a long battle with cancer. She was 35. Angie's sister, Mitch, is here tonight. And Mitch, Linda stood by your sister.
Yes, you did. They were the best of friends, and when Angie was really poorly, Linda used to come over and do the gardening and prune the roses. And also, I remember when Angie died, Linda said to me, she watched the film Beaches, and it's a real tearjerker if you lose somebody. And she said that Angie was always the wind beneath her wings, but I think they both helped each other fly.
Obviously, Angie's death affected you deeply.
Absolutely, yeah. It just proved how cruel life can be, really. It made me take a good look at my life and the people around me, and she was a wonderful, wonderful person. I said it when she was alive. She was so pure, and she never had a bad word to say about anybody, and I hoped when she died that I could take on some of her good characteristics and carry them through in my life.
Well, you keep busy. While in Panto in Swansea, you support mothers of troops heading for the Gulf War who are fundraising to send some home comforts like food parcels and blankets to the battle zone. The next year, you do your bit in person. You and a troupe of dancers formed the Linda Lusardi Show, and you travelled 7,500 miles to the South Atlantic to comfort our brave boys and girls in the Falkland Islands. and you're invited to do the same in Belize and Northern Ireland. Lining up with you were dancers Donna Darby, Natalie Cleverly, Nikki Finnegan and Nikki Hooper, and your musical director, Dave Pinkney. Nikki, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You had an appreciative audience, I'm told.
We certainly did, and conditions were very, very basic there. We knew we weren't going to stay in a five-star hotel, but we didn't anticipate staying in a porter cabin, surrounded by 4 foot of mud, freezing cold, and 400 sheep peering at us through a window. We soon got the gist of the way the week was going to go on. We heard a tannoy announcement saying, "Will all men please vacate the shower area at 6 o'clock till 6:30, because it's the girls' shower time." 6 o'clock came, we toddled out of our porter cabin, wandered down the corridor and heard click, 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 click. As we walked along, we saw all the soldiers' heads pop out. I think they were hoping to catch Linda and us scantily clad, but it was so cold we were covered in woolly scarves, welly boots and balaclavas.
Donna, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I'd just like to say Linda's great company, but she's a bit of a practical joker. Oh, no, don't you? When we went to Northern Ireland, we went on a trip around the army hospital, and she stitched me up completely.
I still feel terrible about this.
Stitched me up. I didn't feel very well, so she decided to ask the doctor to give me an examination. Well, it took 5 hours, and I had every test possible. And I come out and Linda was laughing her head off, but it got worse. The next day she asked the driver to pretend to be the doctor from the hospital, who called me to one side in a hotel lobby that was full of everyone and said, "Congratulations, Miss Darby, your test's positive." And I just fainted.
That's terrible, but it was funny.
Yeah. Other than that, she's just everything that best friends should be.
Oh, thanks, Don. Oh, I love you.
Thank you very much. Now, despite your epic journey to the Falklands, Showbiz is a small world, and in 1992, you appear with Donna's husband, Bradley Walsh, in a Rock with Laughter show in Torquay. In 1993, a busy year, you rejoin our boys and girls in uniform. As part of your Keep Fit series on GMTV, you lead an aerobic session on the flight deck of the Ark Royal. You become an interviewer for the series It's Bizarre, and you co-host A Kind of Magic. The next year, you're back on stage for another farce, Not Now Darling, and fertilising the laughs with you was a former resident of Emmerdale Farm. Here with his wife, Liz Hobbs, Fraser Hines. Fraser, over to you.
I came home one day and I said to Liz, "I'm doing Not Now Darling with Linda Lusardi." And she said, "Oh, you'll love Linda. She's a great girl. In fact, Linda and I go back a long, long way," which I never realised that Liz was a page 3 girl. Page 3 water ski world, probably. So anyway, we went down to Bournemouth and we had a little routine by the swimming pool. And one day my mobile went. I said, "Yeah, it's one of the gang from Emmerdale." And they said, "What are you doing, Fraser?" I said, "Linda Lusardi has just rubbed suntan cream into my back. She's pouring me a large glass of chilled Chardonnay, and then she'll feed me some grapes and a prawn sandwich." He said, "Are you missing us?" What do you think?
Liz.
Actually, I would say that if Linda had chosen to do what Mark said, and that was continue with her athletic prowess, I'm probably one of the few sports people that have come across Linda's competitive instinct. She's got real killer instinct, and I've got no doubt that she would have been a champion if she decided to go into sport. But I do have to say that I'm one of the few women in the world lucky enough to be able to say that Linda Lusardi is the other woman in our marriage, and I'm very proud of it. We both love you.
Thank you. Next, you're invited to get involved with the charity Catch, the Care and Action Trust for Children with Handicap, represented tonight by Adam England. Adam, Linda was quick to respond.
Yes, she was. We wrote to Linda to ask her for something special and valuable to donate to a charity auction. Of course, what could be more special or valuable than one of her bras, which she subsequently sent and fetched a large amount of money, and now has pride of place in a very popular bar in Swansea. But in addition to that, Linda's image now is very much that of a family person, and is ideal for us as a charity which tries to help disabled children from across the UK. And I think on behalf of everybody, all the mums and dads and the children Linda's helped us to help, I'd like to say a massive and sincere thank you to you.
Recently, you and Sam presented a report for Wish You Were Here in Las Vegas. And Sam, there was more to that trip than met the eye.
It's strange because Linda's uncle has lived out in Las Vegas for a long, long time now. And Linda is very close to, his name's Ivor, he's very close to him. And she hadn't seen him for years and years. So we went over there, we did Wish You Were Here, and we kind of extended it and had a family holiday as well. And we visited Ivor and his wife Jan, and it was just a pleasure to meet them because I'd never met them and to put a face to the voice. And we had a great time, didn't we? It was just great to see him and to introduce Ivor to the kids as well.
Well, you say he's lived in Las Vegas for 30 years, and when you met up, you were able to introduce him not only to Sam, but to your daughter, Lucy.
And now, Linda, I just got to meet your new son, Jack.
With your children, Lucy and Jack, Uncle Ivor. So, Ivor, when you went to America, Linda was just a little girl. You followed her career.
Yes, I did, and you know, I'm very proud of her, and not just for her success, but just the way she's handled it. She's always been so gracious.
Well, Linda, your transformation from model to actress continues apace. At the very beginning, you were invited to the Morden Festival to play Eliza Doolittle in Shaw's Pygmalion.
By Jupiter, she's got it. And at the first attempt.
He remembers his lines, your Professor Higgins, Philip Maddock.
Oh, bless.
Lovely. You just sit down again.
So, Philip, what about a little peroration?
When I knew that Linda was doing it, I didn't really know Linda at all then, but she came into a splendid cast, a splendid festival. And it wasn't a question of promise in her, it was a question of the fact that she was already there and there an actress. And it's a part that develops from, of course, the flower girl right through to the lady. All those stages she fulfilled beautifully, very subtly. The sense of comedy, sense of drama. It's very sad, it's very moving, and she contained it all with enormous control.
And you were brilliant, Philip. You were so much help to me. I learnt so much from you.
Oh, she's a lovely girl, isn't she?
Oh, excellent.
No, I was just saying, but it was a great experience. I can only hope that there may be a chance we'll work together again.
It'd be nice to do it again, wouldn't it?
It would be lovely.
Linda Lusardi, this is your life.
This Is Your Life is back 4th of January. Like tonight, the vets in practice are getting ready for Christmas. And looking ahead to Friday night, Ardlo Hanlon returns to BBC One for Out of This World comedy, My Hero Christmas, tomorrow at 8:30.